Welcome back, Ultima Weapons. It's the Night Sky Prince again, and today we're going to be doing another Ultima podcast. And I'm joined by a very special guest today. You guys may know her as the Sphere Hunter on YouTube. She's one of my favorite Final Fantasy YouTubers, and I'm really happy to have her on here. Sue, can you say hi to everybody?
Hello, my name is Sue, and as Ryan said, I am the Sphere Hunter on YouTube.
Oh, right. And I'm also joined by Stefan and Levon. Can you guys say hi?
Hi, guys.
What's going on, Ultima?
Okay, and today we're going to be talking about, we're going to be opening with our favorite game at E3, what our impressions of E3 as a whole, where the hell is Final Fantasy VII Remake, and we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3, the Frozen reveal, and the Pirates of the Caribbean reveal, and just exactly where that franchise is headed in the future. So, Stefan, I want to start with you. What was your favorite game at E3?
Now, favorite that was revealed, or
Just anything that you saw that just really took you back.
okay? Other than Kingdom Hearts 3, specifically the Pirates trailer, it would have to be Resident Evil 2.
Same.
Yeah.
Big same.
Resident Evil 2 was my favorite one back on the PS1, yeah, and I just really love that one. Not much else to say about it, but I was really surprised to see that they even brought it back, because I kind of forgot about it because they just announced it, and
Right.
that was kind of it.
And they showed like a logo, and then they were like, well, yep. Awesome. We'll see you guys there.
We do it.
We do it.
Sue, I know you were a really big fan of Resident Evil 2 Remake. You did like a really good video of it recently. I assume that's also your favorite game, right?
From E3, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, at first, it was Devil May Cry 5, and I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. The series is back. And then they dropped that Resident Evil 2 remake on me, and I was just like, oh my god.
You know, like,
The
I can't
series is
believe
back.
it. Yeah.
You know, Capcom in general, they absolutely killed E3. Like, they did such a good job. So
Capcom really showed.
They did. They delivered when Square perhaps did not.
Wait, hold on. Square had a conference?
Well, they had a collection of trailers.
They raised their hand.
That they showed in some sort of sequential order.
Which Capcom was present for.
Yeah, which Capcom was also present. So Capcom still wins. They still won.
Pretty much, yeah.
Levon, how about you? What really caught your eye at E3?
I really enjoyed this year's E3, honestly. Let's see. Resident Evil, I'm not even a big Resident Evil fan, and the Resident Evil 2 remake looked really, really interesting. Control, I thought, was really dope. Like, they at the Sony's press conference, they showed like 10 seconds of Control, and those 10 seconds had me hooked. And then later I found they had like a nice interview with the developers, the director of the game, and they showed a lot more stuff. So Control was cool. Big Last of Us fan, so seeing Ellie, go from kissing on girls to like chopping dudes' heads off was really, really awesome.
That was a really good trailer.
Yeah, and Anthem. I don't know why Anthem just kind of really seems really neat to me as sort of like an Iron Man simulator.
Yeah, that was that was really cool. The Spider-Man demo that they showed, it feels like they show one every year.
It looked really good this year, though.
Yeah, but every year it's sort of like, man, like I never thought like I'd be into like, it's not like I don't like Marvel. It's just like, like usually like games like based on like comic book series or like anything like that. They're normally not like legendary or anything. This looks really, really, really good, and I almost feel like you could just like, even if it wasn't like Spider-Man per se, like you could kind of like sub in like anything there, and it'd still be like really impressive to look at. So that kind of says a lot on its own.
Yeah, and it's by one of my favorite developers, which is Insomniac.
Yeah, they're amazing. So just knowing that they're doing it and how that game looks every time I see it, I really, really look forward to that. We still have not gotten Battletoads HD, unfortunately.
One day.
What a
When
loss.
that announced?
that was. I mean, we're still waiting on it, man. It's been too long. It's right next to Final Fantasy VII Remake in the abandoned warehouse of vaporware.
Yeah, but didn't they announce it like at Microsoft's conference?
Yeah, they announced it, but they didn't like show anything. They
Show
just
it,
showed
yeah.
like they showed the wall that everyone crashes into. And that was
So
it.
it'll be like 2 years at least.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, did they really announce? I must.
Yeah,
have-
they announced it.
I was
it was
so-
like
I was
seconds
making.
ago.
I was like making a joke. That actually, wow, I must have blanked out when that happened. That's that's great. That's great.
I think subconsciously you realized it, and that's why.
what it was.
You were too hyped by that Frozen trailer.
I was way too hyped by that Frozen trailer.
Way too hyped to talk crap on Osaka.
Oh, I can. I think I can get to that later because there's a lot for me to discuss there with how I feel in regards to Osaka team. But
And a lot for me to go.
but moving forward though, I just want to ask before we go to the next topic. Which console manufacturer had the best E3 in you guys' opinion? Levon.
Oh, Sony, easily. Like I said, everything from Control to T-Lao 2. They showed some more Kingdom Hearts, because as far as Kingdom Hearts goes, I was not impressed by the Frozen trailer at all, until it showed Aqua. Like, that was the highlight of it. But, to me, Frozen was very obvious. Like, well, yeah, it's like the phenomenon of the decade. Of course, Frozen's going to be in it. So that was a given. And then just the rest of the trailer felt really lackluster to me until the very, very end where they showed Aqua. So their Sony showing of Kingdom Hearts 3 impressed me. I didn't really watch... Did I watch Microsoft? No, I didn't watch Microsoft, but I got the highlights for it. And not really anything too impressive from the highlights I saw. And then, who was it? Nintendo, yeah. The big N. Oh boy, Smash. Smash U looks good as a what's what I'm looking for? Competitive Smash player. I'm always excited to see the next Smash. I've been on Project M train for a while, where if it's not Project M or Melee, I don't care. But Smash U looks really, really good. Like Smash Ultimate, I'm pretty hyped for it.
I was very surprised by Smash Ultimate. Did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, I was very happy with it because everyone's in it, and my boy Cloud is in it. Thank
Cloud,
God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a base character now. So I'm definitely like, my main is Game and Watch. So I might play a little bit of Cloud when the game comes out.
So I actually didn't want to main Cloud because I was like, man, he's a DLC character for this game, and as soon as the next Smash comes out, he's not even going to be in it. So do I really want to invest this much time in like learning like every single thing about this character?
Little did you know.
Little did I know. So
But to Ryan's surprise, Cloud stuck around.
right, so that's actually really exciting, and it seems to me like they're going to have like more of an effort to do like a lot more ongoing balancing and stuff like that, which I know they did with Smash 4, but it looks like they're going to like actually, from the impression I got was that they may actually stick with continuing to make sure the game is balanced for the rest of the generation, which is great.
For the rest of eternity.
Yeah. So I feel like they'll continue to get feedback there. What you were saying though with the Frozen trailer at Microsoft, I think actually Nomura had said like it was like Frozen was supposed to be the big reveal, but everyone reacted more to Aqua.
Yeah, that's the thing. Frozen's not a big reveal. Like, everyone knew Frozen was going to be in there. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I see what he means, but it's like anyone who knows anything about Disney was like, leaving Frozen out of Kingdom Hearts 3 was leaving money on the table. So that wasn't really a big reveal, even though it was, but whatever.
Yeah, after like Big Hero 6 like got revealed, which is still missing in action. I kind of like figured like, okay, they definitely got Frozen. Like, there's no way that they skip over that.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a Marvel property, there's no way they're not going to have Frozen or any other big Disney names. In fact, I was kind of, I'm not gonna say I was upset about it. A lot of people kind of will look at the Pirates of the Caribbean world and be like, man, the anime designs clash really a lot with the Pirates of the Caribbean characters. Jack Sparrow and them.
Right.
But at the same time, like with graphics getting better and better as they are, it's not so bad. I think that, and when you started the reveal, you kind of saw Donald, Goofy, Sora, and the gang like in their pirate get-ups, and they were behind the starry sky. So I was hoping for what's the Disney Treasure Planet? Yeah, I was hoping for Treasure Planet. So it's
that will never happen, but that would be cool.
Why not?
I think Treasure Planet was like a huge flop, like a tank to the box office.
You have to crush my dreams like that.
I'm
Come
sorry.
Was the Mickey Mouse Three Musketeers super successful? It was in Kingdom Hearts.
Speaking of which, Sue, I want to know which console manufacturer won E3 in your opinion.
I think I'm gonna go with Sony, but only because the content of the showing was good, but the showing was like terribly paced. I was watching it live, so when they started in that like Last of Us tent, and then they like moved everyone to like an actual theater, I was like, what? Who cares? Like, what is this? This is a piece of shit. And then they dropped Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I was like, okay, you won.
They pull a stunt like every like some kind of like weird stunt.
I really liked the God of War orchestra like a couple years ago, but then like I saw this and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Who cares? And Death Stranding looked really, really cool in my opinion. I don't know.
That's a real game.
It's a real game. And you know what else is surprising? Kingdom Hearts 3 is a real game.
Yeah. Square Enix makes games. That's surprising.
Yeah, totally.
I was like, what? You guys like work?
There's like actual content and like more than 3 worlds in this game.
Yeah, and not like menus like photoshopped over like CG to make it look like it's actual game.
That was so terrible.
Oh man.
I'll give them this. It looks like they did put 5 years of work into it.
It does. It looks really good.
Yeah. So in terms of graphics, I could not be more impressed with Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably, in my opinion, like the actual graphics combined with the art, it makes it look like the best looking game of the generation to me.
It just looks so accurate to each individual like Disney property in the game. Like if you just showed that to someone that's unfamiliar with like video games, they'd probably just think it was like a new CGI Disney movie. Like it looks that good.
Right. It's so perfect. It's beautiful in a way that I could not have even like just like imagining like what Kingdom Hearts 3 would look like growing up. I was imagining on like the PlayStation 3 level. So so even then, like to see this, it basically looks like the CG scenes from Kingdom Hearts like 1 and 2.
Yeah, totally.
Like, in real time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so and in fact, I feel like that was kind of like their point of reference with how they wanted to make the next generation version. Is that I feel like they looked at like the FMVs and they were like, let's just do that, which is a great idea. It's a really great idea. They didn't have to, because man, when Kingdom Hearts 3 was first revealed, it looked rough.
It looked like a claymation.
It did. Like the first trailer, it looked almost cell shaded, like the reveal trailer in 2013.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it looks cell shaded, and then it went to sort of like this claymation style, which looked really bad.
Yeah.
And now they got it at like this really awesome. Basically, like the Kingdom Hearts characters, they look like Pixar characters.
They look like
honestly. Pixar characters. They look like Pixar characters that are like softened by like anime style choices.
Yeah. I think that is some of. I feel like they got some of the Pixar people's help with doing the actual series characters. Like, obviously Pixar helped them with the Pixar world, but I'm pretty sure they took whatever they learned from Pixar and also applied that to their original characters like Sora and the organization members and such, because it's like you said, they look like Pixar characters almost.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised because the Toy Story world is like so perfect. Like it looks exactly like Toy Story.
It really does. Which, speaking of which, I think Nomura had said that it has like one of the biggest amount of like 3D modelers working on it ever. Like, like
it's fucking Toy Story, of course.
No, not Toy Story World. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 has like one of they are outsourcing like crazy.
For like a Disney property, it should.
Right.
Because it not only is it a Disney property, but it's a Square Enix property, which is like Disney in Japan.
Right.
Like these two massive companies should just come together and make like the best thing ever, instead of just like spitting out whatever.
Right. And so they've had a lot of outsourcing happening there, but it's all turned out for the better. There's good outsourcing and there's bad outsourcing. But before I get into that, Stefan, I just wanted to wrap that topic up with who you felt like won E3 in terms of console manufacturers.
Are you giving me one final chance to stay in Ultima? Because you know what I voted on your poll.
That is true. That is true. So,
no, I did like the Nintendo showing a lot because lately I've been trying to play more 2-player games with my fiance, and so Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu look really appealing to me.
Okay,
and then,
I agree. Actually, I agree.
Yeah, and then for like how bad I've been wanting a Final Fantasy Tactics 2 or just a new tactics game in general.
Yeah,
and then I see that they're finally showing stuff like the new Fire Emblem, and I love Fire Emblem.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Really dope.
Yeah, there were a lot of good things. The only thing I didn't agree with about it is that they should have dedicated that gigantic 30-minute section to Smash, which I understand that really appeals to their core audience, but if there is anyone who is a Nintendo fan that is not necessarily as invested in Smash, then for them it's sort of just like, man, I gotta sit here through Smash for 30 minutes.
Yeah, but to their credit, they also had like a decent showing of all the games they wanted to show off before they got to the, big part of the Direct.
Right.
And it was also nice to know that they were putting out an updated demo for Octopath Traveler, and then that not only that, but your progress within the demo carries over to the game. That
was cool. That was so
cool.
And
I'm glad somebody showed something on Octopath Traveler because Square sure didn't.
that was such a question mark to me. I was just like, what?
Have you seen the where is it? They've been showing where they're asking people have been asking, will Octopath Traveler have DLC? And they're like, no, Octopath Traveler is a complete game. We don't need DLC.
I was just like,
Is this about the sneak diss?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Dude, everybody at Square's just piling up on them.
I feel like they are, because Nomura had made a comment where he was just like, oh yeah, I don't do that whole DLC thing. I might do some DLC. Yeah, but I'm not doing season passes because I don't like that.
Yeah, and I know you can say that applies to the industry as a whole, but it's fun to think they're just, throwing crap at Tabata.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I still love him.
In fairness though, I don't think like with Tabata that he like sort of like directly intended to be like, we're just gonna gut this whole game and just play all this DLC. I feel like what happened is that he was just like, he got that mandate because Final Fantasy 15's development started in late 2012. So he got a mandate that he's like, look, you got basically a little over 3 years to get this game out, and you have to build an entire engine to get this game out, and
an open world.
Yeah, and it's got to be open world. It's got to be open world too, and we need you to have like like top of the line technology, and you have like less time than like literally half the time. Because if you look at competitive games like Breath of the Wild, a game that took like at least like what was it, 5 years? And
Probably.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
5. Because it was announced at like the start of Wii U's like life cycle, and it didn't actually even come out until the launch of the Switch. so
Yeah.
so if you look at like competitive like open world games, and I mean, you know, Breath of the Wild, while that's certainly like a beautiful game, like you can't put that next to something like Luminous Studio Engine and be like, oh yeah, they did the exact same. It's like it's not. So it also didn't have 4 party members either that had to have AI and all these other things like stacked up on top of each other. So
Yeah.
And you know, maybe I'm like just really sympathetic, but all those, you know, behind the scenes videos they put out with Tabata, he seemed really genuine, so I don't believe that everything Square did with 15, at least on his part, was malicious.
I agree.
Yeah,
It
I just
wasn't
feel
mal-
like he was handed the keys to like a sinking ship, and he had to patch it up somehow.
Yeah, and I'll still never forget that video, like where not long after Uncovered, he announced the delay of 15, and just how like defeated he looked.
Yeah, poor guy.
Bro, he that was like in his heart. He was so devastated that he had to delay it. Like there were like bags under his eyes. Like
There's always bags under that man's eyes. What are you talking
they were
about?
they were droopier than normal, man. Those bags were sitting in his lap, and he was just like,
No.
he was like, I'm so sorry I had to delay this game. I am
But Square Enix won't let me sleep or eat or see my wife. Unless I finish it.
He
And
hasn't
it doesn't-
slept for 3 years.
It doesn't help that I have that picture of Nomura in the foreground just laughing.
Oh, that meme, yeah. Oh god. You know, like the thing about that is that like I do feel like he must have felt like such an ass like moments after like he announced the release date. The team's like, nah. Nah. What cracked me up was that like the thing like on like the day of like the release date reveal, it actually flashed November 30th. and that
is so weird.
That is like one of the weirdest things to me like ever, because it like flashed November 30th and then it like went back to September.
Oh.
Should have just kept it on November.
Look, I'm feeling
It
bad.
should have been 2017, not just November.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, though, with games that have long development cycles, where is Final Fantasy VII Remake? So, to give a little, maybe like a little bit of detail here with regards to why I'm kind of like, man, where is Final Fantasy VII Remake? You know, because despite the whole CyberConnect 2 ordeal, I still feel like they should have had something to show there. And I know a lot of people sort of disagree with me, but a lot of people are sort of under the interpretation that CyberConnect 2 were the ones developing the entire game, and really it was more like they were co-developing it with Business Division 1. So
Right.
These rumors with Dan Takasa saying that basically they had to scrap the game and start all over, I can't actually see how that's true when CyberConnect 2 was never the actual sole developer of Final Fantasy VII Remake. So they were more like their main outsource, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, Sue, actually, where do you think it's at?
Where do I think it's at? Okay.
Where? Or rather, I should say, what reason do you believe that Square is not showing Final Fantasy VII Remake? Whether it's the game is too far behind schedule, whether it's they're simply choosing not showing it off for marketing reasons because they want to push Kingdom Hearts 3 more, which is what I personally believe is the case.
I think it might just be a combination of both of those, because I feel like they're probably still working on Midgar, you know?
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts is coming out, and Nomura's directing both of those games, right?
Exactly.
So like, it could just be him, you know, being like, "Hey Square, let's just focus on Kingdom Hearts since this is like a real video game right now. Like, we don't need to drudge up that, even though everyone's going to be asking for that
Right.
that thing in the corner, whatever it is."
So, well, one of the things that I noticed with Kingdom Hearts 3 is that they wouldn't talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 at all until Final Fantasy 15 came out. They showed off maybe like one trailer in between E3 and the like, what was it? I can't remember, but they showed off maybe like a handful of trailers, and then after Final Fantasy 15 came out, that's when they became super open about Kingdom Hearts 3. And then just every month we get more and more details, and then finally we're here. So to put it in perspective, Final Fantasy 15 came out November 2016, and E3 2017 is when we started getting hyped toward the release date. So not even, maybe like, I want to say maybe like 6 months after like Final Fantasy 15 like hype sort of like came to like a climax, that's when they started pushing Kingdom Hearts 3. And I sort of feel like that's the exact same thing they're planning to do with FF7R.
Yeah, that makes the most sense, and it also kind of plays into something that a lot of us have been saying, like how Square announces everything way too early. So it kind of seems like they've learned from 15 and how that was unfinished, but, you know, a satisfying game, I guess, maybe for some people. So it might be them just release that, and then now we'll focus on Kingdom Hearts. We'll release that, and then we'll focus on FF7, you know, like instead of just throwing all this info at us.
Yeah, because I think like the biggest thing that they fear is like another 15 situation where they probably showed off too much, and they showed off concepts that they hadn't even finished yet and concepts that had to be reworked. And I feel like if they show that off with FF7R, they put themselves in trouble to where they're sort of like, man, well, we're gonna have to change this, and people are gonna be like, well, you lied. This isn't what the game. This isn't what the game is like, and so it may be that they're just playing it more conservative in that aspect. Stefan, where do you think FF7R is?
Hopefully with the Tokyo team.
Dang.
I
agree.
No, I think y'all pretty much talked about like the bulk of it. I do think they probably didn't show it because they want to go ahead with advertising for E3. Though while I understand that, at the same time, I wish they at least kind of, gave us a little screenshot or something,
right.
Or like show us Cloud's new or old design.
Yeah.
Like I felt like if they had at least done that, that probably, I mean, people would still complain, but that probably would have helped a lot.
Right. Just like have like Nomura like come on and just be like, hey, we have like literally nothing to show, but here's some concept art. I actually am working. I've been working on this.
I think Yoshi P from 14 does that. They still have stuff to show, but from what I heard, he doesn't really let his team know ahead of time what he's showing. He just picks what he wants to show, and just on the live letter, he just shows it off.
I'd be so mad. Like from a developer's perspective, I'd be like, dude,
oh yeah,
I wanted to polish that board before you just put that out there.
Oh yeah, but you know what? After what he did with A Realm Reborn, I feel he deserved it.
Yeah, well, he basically saved the whole company. So
yeah, Yoshi anything he wants.
Yeah, so if you like Square, like even remotely, whether it's Kingdom Hearts or anything that they make, you owe him a huge thank you, because like everything about Square would probably be gone because they lost a lot of money from that.
Yeah, and he turned that around in 3 years.
Yeah, I know. So, you know what? Speaking of which, something interesting that a lot of people don't know, and this actually blew my mind. It wasn't actually until I kind of did like the history of FF7 video a while back.
Finish it.
Maybe. It wasn't until I did that I didn't know that Final Fantasy VII, the original, was made in 1 year.
That is so insane.
That is so insane, right? They made that whole game what is arguably considered their best game. Well, let's just be honest, their best game. It is.
And another one of their best games came out of that game, Parasite Eve. Like,
yes.
Like
And
how do they do these things?
Right, and you know what? All the meanwhile, that like 7, 8, 9, and like Parasite Eve, and like all this was just happening at like once. That's just so mind blowing.
You know, real quick on Parasite Eve, I actually thought from early footage of 7, I was kind of imagining that to be like a very updated version of Parasite Eve 1's combat.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah, for sure.
I would have loved that so much.
Can I just story time for a second?
Of course.
And this is related
Sure.
to the Square Enix showing.
Go for it.
Go for it.
And I tweeted this out, so sorry if you've read this already. When they showed the trailer for A Quiet Man, like, it shows New York City, and I was like, oh my god, Parasite Eve remake, here we go. And then it shows that guy beating up the other guys, and I was like, oh my god, The Bouncer 2, here we go. And it was none of those games.
That's such a roller coaster ride.
So I had like literally just like watched like a video on like Type Zero's like quote unquote sequel, like how they kind of like wanted to like reboot it like in basically like modern Hong Kong. So for a second I was like, wait, is that Hong Kong?
Oh.
It's like, yes, Type Next is happening.
Please give me Type Next. That's
Dude,
all I want. That's all I want.
Yes, same, big same.
Type Next died for 15 cents.
It did.
Oh, say that.
Which brings me to you, Levon. Why do you think Square is hesitating to show off Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Well, if you recall, I 100% called it that there was not going to be any 7 here.
Yeah, but you're always cynical, though.
I mean, I am. But, you know, someone has to keep a level mind. Someone can't get sucked into the hype. And admittedly, I do.
Yeah.
I'd rather drive the hype up and watch them crash and burn.
And admittedly, it's almost kind of come to that. But I got sucked into the hype a little bit, and so I changed my prediction to like at most we get a teaser, like we get to see Cloud's backside again, and that's all. That's all I was expecting was Cloud, maybe Tifa's backside, and that was it.
Yeah.
And you know, I expected nothing, and honestly, I wasn't really mad that 7 didn't show up because this is the same company that on Versus 13 for like 3 years straight before it got rebranded, right?
Yeah.
So that, and on top of, we know they've been having development issues. Kingdom Hearts 3 and even Dragon Quest 11 are coming out, so it made a lot more sense to hype those up over 7R, which is basically vaporware at this point. So I wasn't expecting 7, and I got more or less what I was expecting, which was no 7. I think I agree with you that we'll see a lot more of it after Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Because another reason I wasn't expecting a lot of 7 is, for me, my own personal hype train that I've built up for this game, after seeing the reveal trailer. What I'm expecting out of 7R is, I more or less am expecting GTA, Final Fantasy 7. I'm expecting the game to end somewhere around leaving Midgar, but I'm also expecting to have all of Midgar explorable, top and bottom. Something with open world. Maybe at the most they can disguise loading with an elevator going from below and above the rotting pizza.
I love pizza.
So, yeah. I'm not expecting much
so
until Kingdom Hearts 3.
What's
that?
What's that?
Oh, I thought you said something, Stephanie.
Oh, no, Sue said I love pizza, and I goes, hey, so did Sector 7.
No. They got the biggest slice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a quick question for y'all. So Nomura's comment on DLC and everything, do you think that's gonna carry over to 7 Remake? Or
I
do
hope
you think
so.
they're gonna have
Absolutely.
You mean like the DLC?
Yeah, like the fact that he doesn't like DLC and he doesn't really want to plan any. Probably past.
This is the same guy that will not leave out anything in a Kingdom Hearts game. So I think there won't be DLC for that for FF7.
If I don't get my Aris Lives DLC for $99.99, then I'm agreeing with the company. I'm sorry.
You might just get it for free with the game.
The only reason why I think they would do it is just because it's 7 and they probably need the money. I don't know what their situation is, but
the thing about Nomura is that he'll say no DLC, and you look at like the final mix games and it's like, what do you think that was?
basically a patch.
I'm like, that's a big old. It's like season pass content basically.
I think Nomura was ahead of his time.
Right.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, Final Fantasy has always done that with their international versions. We're just now getting final mixes and what's 15's international version called? The Royal Edition.
Right.
Yeah.
Just now final mixes and Royal Editions over here, but they've been doing this shit since '99. So, well, before that, since the '90s. So, yeah, I get. I half expect to see something like that, but at the same time, I think I would. I don't know if I would prefer that over the DLC. Maybe. I don't know. It's
difficult for sure.
Right. So I don't think that Final Fantasy VII Remake will have a season pass, but I think it will have DLC. If that makes sense. So I don't think that. Right. So I
like some additions or something.
Right. There's going to be like some stuff that you can buy because that's just a logical upsale.
Yeah.
There is no way that any company is going to miss out on that money.
Advent Children costume pack.
Right.
There you go. Right there. Let me replace Cloud's Harvey with Harvey. Yeah, Harvey with fucking Finn Rare from Advent Children. Let me do that.
Exactly. And no one's gonna miss. No company would ever want to miss out on that money because it's really easy money. You don't have to make any story content. You could just literally, put that model in there, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll wait for the inevitable PC version where we can mod Sephiroth to be Genesis.
No.
I don't know why you would want to do that, but sure,
let me go ahead and boot you from this podcast right now.
Look, guys, I just want attention.
Wow, that's the only attention you'll get from that is a lot of angry comments.
Yeah, but I'll also get the sympathy of compilation people.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of Crisis Core fans will be like, I really like that Stefan guy. He's kind of smart.
And as we know, they are much louder than 7 fans, so
they
I think I'm going to win this one.
They are, man. There's so many people who are like, yeah, they need to make Dirge of Cerberus canon. I'm like, no, the fuck they do not.
I love Dirge of Cerberus.
Okay.
Why though?
You know what though?
Because it's so bad.
You know what though? I like Dirge of Cerberus too. It is really bad, but it's somehow it's still kind of fun.
See,
y'all know Jesus.
When I was a wee little lad, I rented Dirge of Cerberus from Hollywood when they were still open.
Oh yeah.
And I think I got about to the part where you're like standing on top of a van shooting at dogs or something.
Yeah.
And then at that point, and keep in mind, I was super hyped for this game because I love Vincent. At that point, I'm like, Mom, can we go return this? I wanted to like it so bad, but I couldn't.
Some of the cutscenes were pretty interesting.
Speaking of cutscenes, can I just say I didn't know who Gact was at all as a kid.
It's okay. None of us.
So when I got to the ending where like a real man's face just shows up on screen, I was like so mind blown. I was like, what just happened? Why does he have a real man's face?
So they were like playing there like super hard, both with what they did in Crisis Core and what they did in Dirge. Like they were like, oh yeah, we're doing Final Fantasy VII too. It's happening. Like they wanted to make you think that we were doing like 7 too, like so hard. They're like, yeah, it's happening. I was like just like waiting for it. I was like, well, they left this open. They like literally like retconned 7's entire story just to have like that insert there where we could just, oh man, we could just make Final Fantasy 7 2. Gact can be the new villain. It's just gonna be awesome. Like, and like people are gonna love it.
And I'll give you a fun fact about that. Ever since that article came out with Nomura saying like he won't be acknowledging the compilation, I started going to church every Sunday because God.
The Lord is good. The Lord certainly is good. And
let's just not think about Dirge of Cerberus ever again.
Yeah,
please.
But I wouldn't mind if they remade it just so they can kind of redeem that game. Because
do like Prompto gameplay with it.
I think more if they were to get like Platinum to do like a Vanquish style.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I'd be down for that. That's basically what I want out of 16. I want Platinum to make Final Fantasy 16.
Okay, how do you pitch that though? Like Platinum and just be like, hey, y'all know Dirge of Cerberus, right?
Look.
Platinum can do it though, and Square knows it.
Like you could probably argue that Dirge of Cerberus was a Platinum tier story anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, look. No, I'm talking about like from like Platinum's perspective. Like, how do you pitch that to them? Be like, hey, Dirge of Cerberus, right?
Kamiya's just like, blocked, piece of shit.
It's like block. It's like, wow. It's like, I can't believe we had to discommunicate ourselves from Square.
See, it's funny you bring up Kamiya because they announced a Kill la Kill game. It's not made by Platinum, unfortunately, but that Kill la Kill game is happening, without Kamiya. So, I guess dreams do come true.
Well, Kamiya's dreams didn't come true because Scalebound got canceled.
I know.
Wow,
I am still upset over that. I have an Xbox sitting in my room right now doing nothing.
Man, you sound like those people that bought a PS3 for Versus 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Call me out, Levon. Call me. Now, in fairness, I did buy my PS3 for the Vanilla 13 as well as Versus 13. And I figured at the time, I was like, man, it's going to be like any day now that they announce a Final Fantasy VII remake. Because people keep demanding it, and that trailer was so awesome. In hindsight, though, I'm so glad that they did not attempt to make FF7R back then, because they did not have the experience, the technology, or anything to make that game.
It's really funny watching that original FF7 like tech demo.
Yeah,
like it just looks so bad now. It's like this is like Crisis Core graphics.
It kind of does. When you look at 7,
when it first came out 10 years ago, that was something else.
Yeah.
It was so mind blowing. It was so mind blowing. Square almost like they just like literally skipped last generation almost altogether. There was no mainline Kingdom Hearts. There was only Final Fantasy 13.
And 14.
Well, yeah, but it came at the tail end, and
still counts.
It was. It lasted for like a year and a half before they shut it down, and then. And also the PS3 version, which I had, by the way. I had the PS3 version of 14.
Me too.
As well as the PC version. And it was really ugly. It was ungodly to look at. The PS4 version of 14 though is amazing.
Oh god. So
it's comparable with PC.
I mean, especially if you got like a PS4 Pro and you play it, oh god, it's
I played it on PS3 for months, and then I finally got a PS4 and I bought it on PS4, and I was just like, oh my god, like it was like I opened my eyes for the first time. Like the frame rate was so good.
Yeah, so
you could actually
I don't know why they released it on PS3, because the version I played on PS3, it's like if I had a PC and the game ran like that on my PC, I would uninstall it because I would consider the game not running. Like that's just how, in my opinion, that's just how bad it was on PS3.
So it was running the equivalent of the lowest spec possible for the PC version. So like
Jeez.
yeah, it like basically in order to get like the PS3 version like on PC, quote unquote, you would actually have to basically like turn everything down to like the absolute lowest setting, and then you have what the PlayStation 3 version looks like. So
Gross.
Now, now I'll give them credit because whenever they dropped support for Stormblood, was it, Levon?
Well, yeah, it was funny because originally they said they'd drop it with the first expansion, and that just didn't happen. I guess Square didn't want to let go of that PS3 money quite yet.
right.
Yeah, but
And
the
that's
cool-
why. Oh yeah, what's that?
Oh, the cool thing is they actually gave PS3 owners a free key or something to upgrade, and all they had to do was just buy a PS4.
Yeah, I actually got that. I have the PS4 version actually, thanks to that upgrade, which was an awesome thing of Square to do, because
Yeah.
I was so set. I was like, oh, they ain't gonna do that. Like I'm gonna have to write that one off. So, but they actually did do that, which when they do stuff like that, it always like crazy blows my mind. I feel like they really wanted to keep players on board with that stuff, which is, that sort of open policy that both Yoshida and Tabata have, where they're very clear cut about development. They continuously update people. Nomura, he's such the opposite. He's like the extreme opposite in such like a weird way, where he's entirely secretive about the game until it's just basically like done.
I like that a lot more, honestly.
Yeah, what were those? I know Dark Pixel talked about it. They had like these rooms where they'd throw these game devs in, and they wouldn't let them out until like they got like a certain amount of work done. I feel like Nomura like thrives in that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, they'd be like, you can go now, right? He's like, no, it's okay. He's like, I'm fine, really.
Can you just give me a water?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, you guys think you could defeat me?
that actually sort of like pulls me into what's going on with Kingdom Hearts 3, which we kind of talked about earlier, but more specifically something he said in an interview where he was basically just like, Sora's my enemy. All of you guys saw that, right? Where he said
That's
that?
not what he said.
No, well, he said he identifies more with Xehanort than he does with Sora. And he says that so he views like him like writing the story as sort of like him like trying to stop Sora.
So basically, he just hates Kingdom Hearts.
At this point.
So am I the only one who heard Nomura say something along the lines he considers Sora and Noctis as his sons?
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Gets not anymore. Like, his own Sora.
It's just I hope he doesn't have kids after that. Like,
he still likes Noctis quite a lot, because when he drew him for Dissidia NT, he was basically like, man, it like brought me to tears drawing Noctis for like the first time in years, and I was like, yeah, that really hit me. I was like, I really want to know like how you felt about like how 15 turned out. Like, I know you could never actually say like how you really feel, but like I really just want to like, I just want him to say anything on it.
he's probably crying because Noctis ended up coming back.
Oh, I mean, Dawn of the Future.
Yeah, I know they can't kill people in Kingdom Hearts, but he's gonna try his hardest at 3 to do that universe's version of a death.
Yeah.
To Sora.
So that means Sora's gonna take a really long nap.
Yeah.
Forever.
Nobody to wake him up.
Nobody.
That or he becomes the new version of Xehanort, just the villain for the next series. That'd be good.
That would be pretty
so
cool.
that would actually be great. That would be quote unquote hard to swallow, as he said. So, but he says that it's going to remain Sora's story, whatever that means. So whether we continue to play with him in Kingdom Hearts 4, or in Kingdom
Jesus
Hearts
Christmas.
6, 7, 8, Awakening by Death. We don't know exactly which one is going to happen, but one thing that he was saying during that exact same interview is that he was basically like, there's way too many characters and the story is getting so complex that even I can't keep up with it.
Good job, Gamora.
Yeah, he couldn't tell who met who at this point.
Yeah.
The Dragon Ball creator, Akira Toriyama, has the same problem. He legit forgets about characters. Like, what is the name of the chick who had
Launch.
Launch.
Yeah. Like, he ain't got a new girlfriend, and people were asking what happened to Launch. She's like, and he's just like, who?
That's not canon anymore. He's like, because I forgot about it. Akira Toriyama, he even forgot what Super Saiyan 2 looked like.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was actually really, really bad. He was like he actually thought Super Saiyan 3 was Super Saiyan 2, and then he didn't remember like Super Saiyan 3 like what it looked like at all. And so he said like someone like pointed out to him like what it looked like, and he was like, oh. And he was basically like, why did I do that?
You think at this point he'd look at a picture of Raditz and go, what form is that?
Probably.
Yeah. So there's like all like the old like mythical rumors that he designed like Super Saiyan 4, which to my knowledge he actually didn't. But back then, and now I think about that now, and I'm like, there's no way he would ever design something like Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, I don't think he did, honestly.
He likes very, very, very simple transformations. But,
yeah, it just doesn't fall in line with the other forms he's made. Like,
I really like his art though, like for like Dragon Quest and stuff like that. But
it's a Dragon Ball Z podcast.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z podcast. I was actually on one recently. If you guys can,
oh really?
I need to find that for you guys and the rest of my subscribers that'd be interested.
Yeah, link that.
Yeah, I have his card. I just got to go pull it up and find it. With Kingdom Hearts 3. So I got like kind of maybe a controversial opinion with at least half of you here.
Tell me about it, Bloody Biscuits.
Oh my god, I love. If you guys haven't seen this really, really good video by Bloody Biscuits, he put it out like 2 years ago, but it's still good. I like literally just discovered it, but it's still relevant to this day. He did this 50-minute analysis on Birth by Sleep, and he basically, and by the way, I agree with like literally every millisecond of the video. I basically feel like I wrote the whole thing. It's that good, and he basically just goes down the line and talks about all the flaws with Birth by Sleep and why it kind of put Kingdom Hearts 3 in such a bad position. And in terms of story, why Birth by Sleep put Kingdom Hearts 3 in such a bad position is they basically took what's marketed as a spin-off game that's actually, it has more crucial details to the story than Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2. Like, yeah. You could
it's not a side game. It's actually a main game.
Yeah. Like in terms of like it's like canonical relevance. It's actually it's more of a main game than Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2.
It's probably one of the most relevant. Well, it and 3D are the most relevant games right now. If we're talking about 3.
Right. So you could literally skip Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, which are the mainline games. Basically what the majority of people have played. And will be for Kingdom Hearts 3 as well. And those people are basically going to be coming back to the series. First of all, it's been so long that they won't even remember like did that really happen in Kingdom Hearts 2? They're going to be like,
what's the nobody?
Yeah, like what are like they're going to be like really, really, really confused. And there's just so many stories. And then but here I mean, we all agree about that part, but the part where I probably caused some disagreement, probably not just with you guys, probably with a lot of my subscribers too, if I'm just being fully honest, is I hate Birth by Sleep story. I did not like Birth by Sleep. I said it. Birth by Sleep was actually, to me personally, I feel like it's where Kingdom Hearts as a whole begin to go downhill. And I know it's a very, very controversial opinion, but
Wow, Ryan! Every word that just came out of your mouth was wrong.
was absolutely correct.
I'm sorry. What was he saying? I blanked out.
I wish I had out.
So I'll explain why I feel that way, and Sue and Levon, I know you guys like feel quite differently about that.
Yeah.
But, okay, so probably the biggest problem with Birth by Sleep, aside from the fact that it's more important than Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and despite it not being advertised as a mainline canon game, being on a portable console, I'm just going to talk about story here, because combat is something that I'd be here all day long. I might get to a little bit of combat later. Right now I want to focus on story, on why I didn't like story there. The story in Birth by Sleep, to me, was like one of the worst stories I've ever witnessed. It was so badly written to me. There were good concepts there. There were a lot of good concepts, but the things with Vanitas and Ventus and Sora, that situation, that cloning situation, and then basically what it's all led up to is the fact that this is kind of like more of like a Dream Drop Distance thing, but it kind of ties in as well. Basically, in like Kingdom Hearts like 1 and 2, all you did was just basically make Xehanort return. Like everything was for nothing. It's basically what it all amounts to. There was just so many. I don't even know how to like. Terra is really dumb. Like, he's really dumb. Like, there's part that like Bloody Biscuits like pointed out in like his video where like he's like following like Master Xehanort, and like Master Xehanort's like saying like some really stupid evil stuff, and like Terra is just like, you know what, you're right, Master Xehanort. Like,
to be fair, Xehanort does have that kind of voice that would make me go, yeah, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, like he makes a fair point. R.I.P. Leonard Nimoy.
F.
The voice acting
Yes.
was actually something I had like a huge problem with. I felt like Aqua's voice actor and Terra's voice actor, but Aqua's voice actor, like more than anybody, is just.
I don't hear what you're saying.
But I think the one thing that I think we can all agree with, criticism, maybe not all of us, because I know there's going to be some guy in the comment section who thought this was just genius writing and I don't understand anything. The whole thing
It'll
with,
be me.
Keyblade. Now, am I talking about Keyblade or am I talking about Keyblade?
Yeah, you mean Key or Kai Blade?
Yeah, I'm talking about Kai Blade or X Blade.
You have to emphasize the key.
Right.
You gotta keep in there that key blade.
Right. So basically, that was the name alone just makes me angry. Like it just makes
the design is terrible.
The design is let's cross two Kingdom Keys with like an Ultima weapon. Why?
It's pretty bad.
The design was terrible. I know I'm like all over. There's just so many things with the story that I didn't like. So, Levon, actually, tell me why you like the story, and that's probably actually going to help me be able to get to a point of where I can actually just go at it.
I think one of the things that I really enjoy about Birth by Sleep is the friendship between Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. Yes, the voice acting isn't the greatest. Yeah, Terra isn't the smartest. I don't think he's quite as dumb as people give him like to make him out to be. Because keep in mind, this is a guy seeing all these brand new worlds for the first time. Where in comparison to us, where we've seen we grew up and seen these Disney villains, and we know how awful they are, and we can hear their evil theme music. I don't think Terra's quite as bad.
He is smarter than Sora in Dream Drop Distance. I will give him that.
Nothing tops Sora's stupidity in Dream Drop Distance.
Sora is dumb in Dream Drop Distance.
I hate it.
Don't talk about my wholesome little boy like that.
I really enjoy the combat a lot in Birth by Sleep, and again, we're not going to get into combat right now, but that's another thing I really enjoyed. I think another thing that's really neat to me about Birth by Sleep is, for me, with the overall Kingdom Hearts pantheon, Birth by Sleep is where things start to really make sense to me.
Well,
yeah, I went there. I realize how that sounds now. But like, you get details on exactly where Xehanort came from. You get details on why they were doing what they were doing at Castle Oblivion. You get some more background information on exactly how the whole Keyblade process works. And again, I know that we butt heads on the idea of the Keyblade being chosen versus, being passed down as a rite of passage or being trained by masters. Right. To me, there's a fuck ton of world building in Birth by Sleep, and like that gets me harder than anything else. When you start to sit down and explain to me how everything works and why the stars have aligned for everything, I really enjoy a lot of good world building, and Birth by Sleep has a lot of, for the overall Kingdom Hearts pantheon, even if it does retcon or clash with some of the things we've been told by the 15-year-old thief girl from the first game. It really does help build a Kingdom Hearts universe for me, and that's what really helped me to enjoy Birth by Sleep as a whole.
Seeing my problem with Birth by Sleep is where you like how everything's explained to you. I actually hate the fact that they got rid of the mystery of a lot of things from Kingdom Hearts.
I agree.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that. I guess it just depends on your point of view. For me, I like for things to be kind of explained. Like, I'm that dude who will pore over the wiki for any particular thing that interests me for hours and hours on end, and Kingdom Hearts being one of them. I like to know every single little detail. So when you explain those to me, that's how you really get me into it. Versus the mystery, it's like, well, if you don't tell me anything, I don't give a fuck. So
yeah, and I can understand that. It's just I'm still going to be disappointed about it.
All right.
That's like I say, it's fair. It's just your point of view.
Sue, I want you to tell me what made you. I want you to tell me what made you love this game so much, because for me, it's actually Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance both are what essentially, me personally, they're what made me not like Kingdom Hearts anymore. With 3, I'm coming back around to warming up to the franchise, and like right now, I'm like replaying through Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 2 is just, oh my god, it's such a brilliant game. One of my favorite games of all time. It's a game where bosses actually stun when you hit them, and there's combo modifiers and all that good stuff. What was it that really made you love Birth by Sleep?
Well, first of all, I pretty much agree with everything that everyone said about Birth by Sleep, but including like the friendship aspect, and I just really like Aqua's interactions, and like I liked Ventus a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of bad in it, and I played it at like a really tough time in my life, so I think that's probably like there's a lot of like nostalgia around it for me. Yeah. But I don't really like the combat. I do like the world building, which is weird because, I usually do like the mystery. I watch a lot of art house films, which don't make any sense. But I just think nostalgia mostly.
Okay.
And like when I played it, I was like moving out of New York, like this place that I lived my whole life, and I had two best friends, you know, and like it was sort of like I could kind of like relate that situation to the events of the game.
I got you.
So it was kind of like I was leaving home, and like it was a really bad time in my life, and like my friends were always there for me, type of thing.
Right.
It's more sentimental.
We can't argue that point.
I cannot. So there's a lot of subjective stuff like that you know there's no way I could ever convince anyone out.
Yeah. I do agree though that like the combat is pretty bad, and like the pacing of all three stories could have been a little bit better.
Right.
And I wish you could just play the stories in whichever order you wanted, you know, instead of like you pretty much have to play like Terra, Ventus, and then Aqua.
Yeah, because with that, I mean, I know some people who didn't, but to me personally, I think that like it does not make much sense if you play out of that order.
Yeah.
I have a friend who played Terra last, and so from his point of view, playing as Ventus and Aqua first, where everyone like usually Terra's the first to get to a world, and so Ventus and Aqua show up later, and so from his point of view, it sounded like Terra was really bad, like he was all these worlds. And so for him to create a lot more mystery actually playing Terra last. Because at the end you got to see Terra's point of view and why things were getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
And one of my friends told me to go down that route, and I thought especially for what happens to Terra at the end of it, I thought that was a good stopping point to go into the epilogue or the final part with Aqua. Yeah.
I agree.
And it does have like cool moments like that where like Terra his like soul is like trapped on the armor and he's like not giving up no matter what. But you know,
that was cool. Cool.
And it pops out of his back.
Yeah.
This man literally throws the cape.
So you know what? I can actually concede to like the world building point because I think like up to that point like Kingdom Hearts is like world building was like literally like, nothing. So like, it was to the point of where we didn't know anything about it, like sort of like the lore. So to have that, actually, I will concede on that point because that actually did overall strengthen the game. It's just that sort of lore is something that you need to present in a mainline entry that has a number attached to it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so and of course you can always explore that more in subtitled games, but like the main numbered entries is kind of like where you need like if it's critical to understanding like what the main plot is, then I think that's kind of necessary. So
maybe they should have just called it Kingdom Hearts 3 like everyone thought it was going to be originally.
Yeah, they should have just done like a Metal Gear thing.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 3 Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
Look how easy that was.
Yeah. Exactly. Dream Drop Distance.
Terrible. So bad.
Hey, don't shame me like that,
man.
guys.
So, it had some fixes from Birth by Sleep's. Battle system, but at the same time, it's sort of like, man, where that game fixed stuff, it like broke other things.
Yeah.
Like
Balloon Row was a mistake.
Yeah, Balloon Row like was a mistake. You can use Balloon Row.
Yeah, I can't even argue that. As much as I love the combat from the Osaka team, I can't tell you that Balloon is a good idea.
I literally ballooned everything.
Yeah.
In that game.
Balloon is actually like the objectively correct command to use in every single situation.
In every situation,
yeah.
Right.
So it was like one of the. I like the command deck in theory because I feel like, man, it feels almost like you have infinite options, and when you start combining commands, like you have like a whole bunch of strategies. Where I think command decks actually screw up, in my humble opinion, like where they go wrong, is that so you have like the command deck, and it's just sort of like you have like all these different like options that you necessarily may not use, or you may like find like a groove that like works in, and you're just like, this is it, this is what I'm using for like the whole game. And I honestly, like, at first, like, I experimented, like, a lot with commands, but, like, toward the end of these games, like, I sort of just found, like, commands that I like, and I'm like, well, that's what I'm sticking with. That's it. And, like, these are the ones that seem to work out for me in every battle, and that's what I'm going to do. In Kingdom Hearts 2, I feel like every single, like, one... Let me actually preface that with, I only play Kingdom Hearts games on critical mode, or the hardest difficulty available, whether that's proud or whatever. I do not enjoy playing Kingdom Hearts on normal. It is not fun for me. So I definitely play this game for the battle system. But Kingdom Hearts 2, if you play Kingdom Hearts 2 on normal, you will think it has the dumbest battle system in the entire world. You literally will just mash X, and sometimes you'll mash triangle. And so the perspective that a lot of those people have is that they carry on it over into Birth by Sleep, and they feel like they have more options there. And I really think that they actually had more options in Kingdom Hearts 2. They just never actually utilized them, or they were never actually put in a situation where they were forced to utilize them. I know so many people who don't even use the block button in Kingdom Hearts 2.
If you play the game on like any of the easier difficulties, you never have to block. You could just sort of like jump over everything or mash the attack button. Like you don't even have to block or like,
right.
Roll.
It's funny because I think in Birth by Sleep with the Xehanort fight, I think you're actually forced to block.
You have to, or you'll get fucked up.
And I imagine that's like probably where a lot of casual Kingdom Hearts fans just like said screw this game because you can't beat it.
Yeah.
And they don't know what the block button is. And to be honest, neither did I, because I was playing on normal mode because I wanted to just speed through everything because I was trying to prep for Dream Drop Distance. So I played 3, 5, 8, and BBS back to back.
Oh man, that's rough. You know what? I actually really like 358's combat system.
Me too.
Yeah, when it really opens up, like I remember more towards the end, but when it opened up, it felt like such a good game.
What I liked about 358's combat is that it felt exactly like Kingdom Hearts 2. Like it felt like they managed to make Kingdom Hearts 2 like work on DS. So. Barring a few changes, it really did feel like Kingdom Hearts 2. And just having that on DS was like super, super cool.
Yeah, it bummed me out that it was just a little movie on the HD collections.
Oh, yeah,
Man,
I know.
I'm not a big fan of 358 over 2 days. But granted, I was really young playing it,
Right.
And I was still kind of new to Kingdom Hearts. Like, if I came back to it, I might enjoy it more. But like when I originally played it, it didn't really click with me.
It's too grindy. It's repetitive.
And it has a slow start.
Very.
Yeah, very slow.
I think I got halfway through it before I let this one girl borrow it, and I never got it back.
Damn.
Cooked.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Her boyfriend's playing your copy right now.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like,
like I said, I don't even care anymore. That was like 15 years ago.
wow. Man, still waiting on Kingdom Hearts 3 now. Oh my god! But yeah. So just like Command X in general, I feel like there's a reason that they didn't go with them for Kingdom Hearts 3, which actually shocked me that they did not go with Command X for Kingdom Hearts 3, because I was like so sure in my mind, I was like, fuck, they're gonna do the damn Command X for Kingdom Hearts 3. They didn't. So.
We kind of do with the way you can stack situation commands. Like I'm really happy with the way situation commands work out, because they're basically command decks that you kind of have to, I guess, create the right situation for.
Right.
Because you can do them. So yeah,
that is the only thing that came over from Birth by Sleep, though, right? Just the situation command.
We also have locks are back.
Oh, that's right. Shot.
Yeah, I love shot locks and command. Like I am crazy for shot locks and command deck. Like I'm sorry, dude. I'm basically the exact opposite of your opinion. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be a good balance of both games. So I'm still excited.
I don't know how I feel about shot lock, honestly. I mean,
it looks cool in 3.
it does look cool.
Yeah, being
The
able
way
to
they used
transport
it in
animals.
like the Pirates of the Caribbean world,
Yes.
that was super cool.
Yeah.
That actually made me go like, huh, that's actually
I
really
like
cool
it
use
and
for
I dislike it because like I think it's kind of like a cop out type of thing, almost like a armature type thing. But I think it's really satisfying seeing all the numbers like go up really quick when you
Yeah.
like lock
Yeah.
onto everything. Like, that's pretty cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The number one thing that I really hope that Kingdom Hearts 3 has, I don't think anyone who's played it has tested it out or has been able to confirm it. I really I need combo modifiers to come back. That's
Nah.
really. Yeah, okay, how are combo modifiers not important?
What was that?
How are combo modifiers not important?
I don't care about combos. Like when I play Kingdom Hearts, I'm trying to do all the. I prefer to use the abilities and commands and stuff. So like combos are just sort of filler in between the big important moves. So like I don't in RPGs in general. I generally play as a mage, so I don't care about basic attacks. I want to blow shit up.
Okay, but
So-
that's not like the real purpose though of combo modifiers. So like with the combo modifier, right? In like Kingdom Hearts 2, they were extremely strategic in like a lot of things that you can do. It's like some of the ones that you can do, like you can cause like a huge like AoE attack to happen where Sora like kind of like slams like his keyblade down and then like there's like this huge like damage to enemies, and like you can basically like string that into like the combos that you're already doing, and so it just sort of like naturally flows where you can just quickly execute something like that. There's also combo modifiers where you can counter. There's other combo modifiers where I think like there's one where you can like literally like, knock an enemy, like launch them into the air and then string that into like an aerial combo. So combo modifiers, like they added like a huge level of strategy into the game where even when you're just doing physical combos, you're still not just mashing X. You throw those modifiers in there. So, and there's like another one too, like where when you get hit, like you can sort of like do like a counter attack where like it like turns like you being like hit into like back into a combo, and so you can punish him. So stuff like that is really strategic, and it tends to be something that you can pull off faster and more naturally in a fight than you can from scrolling through a command deck necessarily to get to all those things. Because like for example, I kind of told you like how I use some of those combo modifiers in the Sephiroth fight in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like regardless of anything, I can't scroll through a menu fast enough to get through those modifiers to actually be able to use them as
I don't,
efficiently.
man. I guess just like the old school RPG fan in me, I like scrolling through menus. Like to me, you give me a menu and give me all.
Did you kind of cut out there?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what moment I'll say I hate scrolling through menus in action games.
Yeah.
Don't use the shortcuts in 1 and 2. I always use the actual menu to cast my spells. Usually,
Damn.
I know that sounds crazy, right?
That's
everyone looks
crazy.
You're a
Say that.
masochist.
I like my menu. Give me the fucking menu.
Just Stefan, like we always get called like masochists because we're like, oh man, they should kill off some characters, but I think that's real masochism. I was like, man, they're like hotkeys, nah, man, I'm gonna scroll like all the way through the menu, and I'm just gonna.
But I have the claw down from playing hours and hours of Monster Hunter, so I have no problem using my index finger to scroll through those menus while I'm pressing buttons and dodging and shit. It is not a problem.
I'm not against it, but I just I'll tell you this much. I use my hotkeys, so reflect, cure, stuff like that. That's always hotkeyed for me. So there's stuff like that, but then there's also stuff like my ethers and like my potions and stuff like that. That stuff I'm gonna like dig through my command menu for, but stuff that I have to like quickly get out there and just be like, oh man,
Yeah.
I need this like right now. Yeah. Because when you're doing like the data battles on like critical mode, man.
Yeah,
Oh man.
totally.
And you're like scrolling through that menu. You're like,
I would
fuck,
probably
fuck,
have
fuck,
to
fuck.
do the command battles. I have not played the PS3 or PS4 version of Kingdom Hearts 2. I played the one final mix up until the end, but I have not gotten the chance. Well, let me rephrase it. I have not gotten past the Roxas portion in Kingdom Hearts 2. I've tried like 3 times. And it's not happening.
Okay, wait till you play Kingdom Hearts 2, the latest port, preferably 1.5, 2.5. When you play that, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, Hearts 2 is the best one." Like it just is. But you guys, we're out of time. I want to thank all of you, particularly Sue. Again,
Thank you.
be sure to check her channel out on the Sphere Hunter. I will have a link in the description below. You guys, I really appreciate all of you for joining me today. Let's all say bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
All right, until next time, thank you so much for watching.